So let's talk about the big picture pattern as we head into the weekend. We are going to be pretty calm, typical January weather. What's going to be happening on the eastern side of the country, though, is a couple of storm systems. The first of which is going to be spreading rain and snow and pushing farther and farther to the east, including some snow possible around Buffalo for the Bills-Ravens game that we're going to be carrying Sunday afternoon. It's always fun when there's a snow game in the middle of the NFL playoffs. But coming crashing in behind this first storm system is going to be a lot of cold air. This is Arctic air that is going to be making a big intrusion, pushing all the way down towards the Gulf Coast, with the freezing line making its way much farther south than normal, which sets the stage for storm number 2, which is going to be interesting. And always have your antenna up when a meteorologist says interesting, because it means something weird is going to happen. And what's going to be weird about this one is how far to the south the snow is going to be. We're talking about snow potentially adding up to at least some extent in places like Houston, New Orleans, Mobile, Alabama, Atlanta, Georgia, places that are not equipped to deal with this kind of weather. So it is going to be all kinds of chaos in the southern half of the country by next week. Now, around our neck of the woods, again, it is a calm pattern as we head through the next several days. Let's take a look at current conditions as we look outside from Salesforce Tower, seeing some of that fog and low cloud cover in the distance. It was tough to shake along the coast and even over San Francisco for much of the day, which limited how much our temperatures warmed up, and now they're backing down. Everybody between 51 and 54 degrees at the moment. As we head through the rest of the night, that fog is going to spread back out. Let's simulate it with Futurecast, and it's going to become widespread as it did last night, spreading across the entire region as we head through tonight and into early tomorrow morning. So any early morning plans, just have that fog and low cloud cover in mind before you're heading out the door. You're not going to see a whole lot of sunshine and we get to mid to late morning for inland parts of the Bay Area and into the afternoon around the Bay and along the coast. Temperatures tonight, despite that layer of fog, still dropping down to a mix of 30s and 40s, mostly 30s in the North Bay valleys, even down to 39 degrees for Bodega Bay. Kind of rare when along the coast you dip down to the upper 30s. Into the 30s on a widespread basis east of the Oakland Hills, with temperatures around the Bay and in the Santa Clara Valley mostly staying in the 40s, an exception there in Morgan Hill at 37 degrees. And then high temperatures tomorrow, well, they warm up to basically what's normal for this time of year. 63 for San Jose and Morgan Hill. That's actually a couple degrees above average, with mostly low 60s east of the Oakland Hills, but 50s around the Bay, 50s along the coast, and also 50s in the North Bay valleys until you get a little bit farther to the north. Maybe a mix of upper 50s and low 60s with that fog hanging on just a little bit longer compared to other inland spots. As we look farther down the line, we are going to be seeing the air quality improving fractionally as we head into Tuesday of next week. But over the weekend, the 3-day weekend, moderate air quality across the board. The smoke from wood-burning fireplaces and stoves trapped near ground level, but the winds are going to pick up. Offshore winds not overly blustery around the Bay Area by Monday into Monday night, and that's going to help to stir the lowest levels of the atmosphere around a little bit and disperse some of that ground level pollution. But we need some rain, which we still don't have in the 7-day forecast, but the 6 to 10-day outlook, that signal towards drier than normal conditions has weakened a little bit. So some signs of optimism there, and more of that in the 8 to 14-day outlook, which takes us right to the end of January, trying to put us back into at least a typical January shower pattern, even if it's not anything in terms of substantial rain headed our way anytime soon. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast, and we will start with the coast, where temperatures are going to be on the cool side for the next couple of days with that marine influence in place. Highs only in the mid-50s, but like flipping a switch, as soon as the offshore breeze returns, that's when temperatures warm back up into the low 60s, and that's where the rest of the Bay Area is going to be next week as well. So just a couple more days of more of a difference between the coast and inland and bayside places, but bayside and inland, upper 50s, a few low 60s tomorrow, and then it's back into the 60s on a widespread basis through most of next week with that offshore wind. Not too problematic around here. We're going to have to keep an eye on Southern California, though, once again. Ryan?